Alright, it has been a little while, but Journey Wrestling is back, at least for the time being. I guess I'll see if I'll continue this. I mean, I do want to, but I've been playing Pro Wrestling Sim recently, which is a great game. I've been enjoying that a lot, and so who knows what's going to happen with this, but for the time being, I don't want to just give up on another wrestling simulator series, so without further ado, let's just get into the next week of Monday Night Raw. Kicking off this week, we have Io Sky versus Bianca Belair for the WWE Women's World Championship. Should be a good match, but Io Sky is going to be retaining this, and that was a great match. 4.25 stars. Prestige of the championship goes up. Can't really complain. Next up, we have an interview with Shinsuke Nakamura, and he has a tag team match with R-Truth and Trick Williams, and he is basically alluding to who his tag team partner is going to be, and he's basically saying that it's somebody who is pretty familiar with either Trick Williams or R-Truth, so that's all the hints that he's given for who his tag team partner is going to be. And speaking of tag matches, here we have Finn Balor and Sheamus. Finn Balor is informing Sheamus that he has set up a tag team match for them. Remember, Finn Balor is feuding with Sheamus, and Finn Balor is also one half of the tag team champions on Raw with JD McDonough. But for tonight, Finn Balor will be tag teaming with Sheamus instead. And Sheamus may not want to be fully on board with it, but he'll do it anyways. And so as you can see, Shinsuke Nakamura's partner is none other than Carmelo Hayes, who knows a lot about Trick Williams. So this is going to come to his advantage. They're going to win this tag team match. Match was a little whatever, still gonna start action. Bottom line is though, I gotta do something with Carmelo Hayes because this feud that I've been building with him and Otis is now stopped because Otis got injured for a while, and so now gotta do something different with him here. Truth and Trick Williams, they get to do something. Shinsuke and Carmelo Hayes, they get to shine a bit, and yeah, pretty much all there is to it. And then next up, we have a little segment here backstage with Jey Uso and Roman Reigns. And so for weeks now, Roman Reigns has been trying to get the family back together, to get the bloodline back together. He wants to make things right with Jey Uso. Jey Uso is telling Roman Reigns here that he needs a public apology from Roman Reigns in next week. And if he can't get a public apology in front of everybody, then he cannot work with Roman Reigns ever again. So that's something to stay tuned for on the next week of Monday Night Raw. Here we have an argument between two different groups. I've been having Duke Hudson kind of be a lot more friendlier with Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. Duke Hudson is Australian, same with Grayson Waller. And I mean, they kind of fit the same kind of vibe here. They are kind of getting into it with LWO. Rey Mysterio then puts out the challenge for them to meet 6-man tag 3 versus 3 next week on Raw, and that is what's going to be happening. And then here we have a women's match, Roxanne Perez versus Carmen Petrovic. I'm building Carmen Petrovic up, but despite that, I want to keep Roxanne Perez strong, get her the win here. Pretty decent match, and yeah. And then next up, we have the contract signing between Gunther and Jacob Fatu. If you remember, Jacob Fatu won a triple threat match to guarantee himself a World Heavyweight Championship shot. That is going to be happening next week, but here they're just signing the contract. And we're going to have Jacob Fatu put Gunther through the table for the contract signing, just to kind of build him up some more and give some people some doubt as to whether or not Gunther may or may not retain. And I guess we're going to see next week when this match takes place. So we are setting up a lot for next week's Monday Night Raw. And then there's that tag team match that Finn Balor was talking about, him and Sheamus versus Idris Enofe and Malika Blade. I should probably give them a tag team name. I'm always big on having tag team names for all tag teams, even if they are just two random guys, but I mean, they've been tag teaming for a while, so kind of makes sense that they should have a name. But anyways, there's actually going to be a huge upset here. Blade and Enofe are going to win this match against Finn Balor and Sheamus. Basically, it's just going to come down to Finn Balor and Sheamus. I mean, they've been kind of friendly, but there's still been a lot of tension between them. They don't really know how to work well together, and it's going to lead to some arguments, some miscommunication, and in the end, Idris Enofe and Malik Blade get the win here in the tag team match, and the match wasn't that bad either. Next up, we have some stuff backstage. Some was kind of whatever, but Tiffany Stratton and Scarlett have been getting into it with Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Here here, they're kind of talking about them in an interview, just talking trash. And then the women's tag team champions come out of nowhere and attack the two of them. This has been building for a few weeks now, and so they're likely at some point going to have a match for the women's tag team titles. And then we have another backstage segment with a lot of women. This was a much better segment, god damn. So here, Maxine Dupree, I'm kind of taking some inspiration from real life. She's being taught some different wrestling moves and different tactics by Miko Satomura and Natalia, who are both very seasoned veterans who know a lot, great teachers and mentors. But Alba Fire and Piper Niven, who I've been wanting to use and use a bit better, I've kind of put them together for this. They just kind of walk by and they just mock Maxine Dupree for needing to be taught a lot of just basic stuff. And Mako Satomura and Natalia do not like the fact that they are mocking her, and by proxy mocking them as well. But Alba Fire and Piper Niven just kind of laugh about it and walk off. So we're building more with the women's division. I'm trying to use a lot more of these people. When you only have 12 segments on a show, there's not a lot you can do, but I think I'm doing pretty well so far. And we have our Raw main event. This has also been building for a while. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. Huge match here, and something crazy is going to happen. Sure, this is going to be a great match, but the crazy thing here that's going to happen is Seth Rollins is going to win, but he's not going to win clean. Oh, that's really good. We got an over 5-star match here on Raw. That just shows you how good I am. But what just happened was that Seth Rollins won the match by turning heel. By any means, that just means he used foreign object or something. I'm going to assume that Seth Rollins just decided to bash CM Punk with a chair. There's a rough bump. CM Punk gets bashed over the head with a chair several times by Seth Rollins because he just cannot take it. He cannot take being in the same company with CM Punk, being in the same ring as CM Punk, and not being able to just obliterate him easily. I also think that this feud, they're both baby faces, but I just think that there should be a heel here, and CM Punk is a great heel, but I think Seth Rollins really shines as a heel. I hate him in real life as a babyface. It just doesn't work well. So we are course correcting, making Seth Rollins a heel. Crazy way to end Monday Night Raw because this literally is the end. Crazy episode of Raw. We had women's title match, a lot of stuff set up for next week, and we had a huge heel turn with Seth Rollins. And now we move on to Smackdown. Alright, and here we have Smackdown. So last week was when Bayley versus Rhea Ripley ended in a draw. We did not find out a winner to face Nia Jax at Deadline. And here they're all arguing about it, but Nick Aldis, SmackDown general manager, comes out and basically says because there was no winner and because Bayley and Rhea Ripley are both deserving of this chance, Nia Jax will be defending her championship against Bayley and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat match at Deadline. So that is what's coming up. One of the matches confirmed. Here we have a match that was made last week. AJ Styles versus former friend, former stablemate, former Bullet Club member, all of that kind of stuff. Carl Anderson. Carl Anderson offered Drew McIntyre some help against AJ Styles since AJ and Drew are feuding. But anyways, AJ Styles is going to beat Carl Anderson. I mean, that just kind of makes sense. It was a pretty decent match though. And while this is happening, Drew McIntyre is looking on from backstage and is not happy at all at the fact that AJ Styles won the match. And so, yeah, just kind of continuing that feud, continuing the tensions between them. Drew McIntyre does not want to see AJ Styles win, and that makes sense. Here we have something crazy happening. So, Legado del Fantasma has been finding themselves kind of feuding with the Wyatt Six, them and Dominic Mysterio. So, backstage, as Legado del Fantasma is ready for an interview, boom, the lights go off, everything's crazy, lights come back on, and Carlito is the only one who's just lying on the floor. He's been beaten down or something like that, and Santos Escobar and Angel are freaked out about what just happened to Carlito. With the lights going off and everything, Wyatt Six are just playing a lot more mind games with them as we continue on with this feud as well. Here we have a match. There's really nothing to this. It's Damian Priest versus Wolfgang, and it's just to give Damian Priest a match as he and The Rock are going to be facing off at Deadline. And speaking of The Rock is going to come out after this match, and the story here is this is not just any attack that The Rock lashes out on Damian Priest. The Rock uses the move, the Razor's Edge, or whatever Damian Priest calls it. I don't remember what he calls it specifically, but the Razor's Edge. The Rock uses that on Damian Priest and taunts him about the fact that he just used his own move and his hero's own move on him. The Rock is being a total villain right now. I mean, using Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, who is one of Damien Priest's idols, to kind of taunt him and stuff like that, that's pretty crazy. And shout out Razor Ramon, aka Scott Hall. Here we have a big four-way match. So there was another four-way match last week. Johnny Gargano won that, and he will be facing the winner of this match for the Heritage Cup at Deadline. Finally figured out what I want to do for that. So yeah, anyways, winner of this match is going to be Chad Gable, so that means at Deadline we will be seeing Johnny Gargano versus Chad Gable, and the winner will be the new Heritage Cup champion. Pretty great, but pretty decent match. We had Tommaso Ciampa, so we could have had DIY against each other, we could have had one of the other Coffee brothers, or we could have had Axiom, but in the end, we're leaving it here. Gable versus Gargano. And so continuing with her little investigation as to who attacked Lola Vice, Trish Stratus is asking Cora Jade some questions about it until they are interrupted by Adriana Rizzo of the D'Angelo family. Adriana Rizzo basically says that she has some video evidence that could maybe help Trish Stratus, and so they go to check it out. I think it makes sense that the family gets involved in this because, I mean, well, they are basically like the mob. They gotta have connections, they gotta have different things going on, different businesses and all that. So I'm trying to include them a little bit more in here and give Adriana Rizzo some stuff for her to do, as all the men in the Angelo family are pretty occupied with the bloodline. And then here we have a match that also stemmed from the previous week. Chelsea Green called out Isla Dawn just randomly, just saying that she could have been someone that would have attacked Lola Vice instead of her. Isla Dawn didn't appreciate that, and they're having this match here, which Chelsea Green is going to win. Not the greatest match, but getting Chelsea Green wins is always important. And then here, unfortunately, the video evidence that Adriana Rizzo tried showing at Stratus, unfortunately, just didn't really show anything too concrete. It's disappointing. And then, just for some fun, The Miz walks by and just kind of makes fun of him because The Miz, being a huge star, knows all about cameras and just finds it funny that they couldn't find anything concrete from this, whatever video evidence this was. So trying to make the backstage area a bit more alive, including more people in it, and yeah, of course doing more with Adriana Rizzo and Trish Stratus in this whole investigation as well. And then here we have our main event. Last week, AOP attacked Randy Orton backstage. LA Knight came in to attack and fend them off, and now they are going to be facing off. We have the WWE champion and the US champion teaming up against the Authors of Pain, and they are going to get the victory, but the story does not end here, as we have a big brawl to end the show. Gotta have a big brawl to end the show. I mean, that's just how the best shows always end. Here, Randy Orton, Razor, Akam, LA Knight, they're fighting with each other again, and then Obafemi, who's feuding with LA Knight, comes out. Cody Rhodes, who is friends with Randy Orton but is facing him, comes in to help Randy Orton and LA Knight against AOP and Obafemi. So we have a little 3-on-3 action here going on, but there is a lot more to this story, trust me on that. And that's how this ends. We're continuing to build to SmackDown's own pay-per-view Deadline. We've got some matches confirmed for that. We're building to some more matches, and we're gonna keep it rolling on Main Event. And we are starting off Main Event with more on this feud between these two tag teams, Street Profits and the Wolf Dogs. And here, backstage, Street Profits are not at all happy with the Wolf Dogs, and they attack them backstage, just letting them know who the real bosses in the tag team division on Raw are. So, just continuing that feud and giving it some more stakes as well. And then here, we have a random tag team match from people from SmackDown. Usually, when I've used Wesley, it's to lose, so we're not doing that this time. And also, I just thought it'd be fun to have both Lees in there as a tag team. Not as a permanent tag team or anything, but just to kind of give them a win here, because I've not really used Dragon Lee a whole lot, and I want to, and I haven't used Wesley a whole lot as well, and so, you know, there's all that. And then Rich Holland and Bronco Nehmer are two guys on SmackDown I haven't used, don't really plan on using, but yeah, just give the Lee brothers, whatever, the win here in tag team action. Next up, following up on Raw from when Bianca Belair lost to Io Sky, Jade Cargill's here just giving her some motivation, trying to lift her up after that loss. And while Bianca Belair appreciates it, she does not want the motivation right now. She's not in the mood for it. And so this is kind of creating a little bit of conflict between the two of them, and I guess we'll see where this goes. Here we have another match from Smackdown, Stephanie Vaquer versus Kalani Jordan. Also two women I've not been using a whole lot. Gonna be doing better with that and give Stephanie Vaquer the win here. Whatever kind of match, but developing them, getting them some more matches and stuff like that. And yeah, just doing more with them. Here we have a challenge for this upcoming episode of Raw. Andrade, Cruiserweight Champion. Not been using him a whole lot, but I have been building up Pete Dunne a lot, and he's been getting a lot of wins. He's been getting over, and so now I think he's like 3-0 or 4-0 or something like that. He is calling out Andrade because he wants the next shot at the Cruiserweight title, and we will be getting that on the next episode of Raw. That episode of Raw is already super stacked, and yeah, now we have another title match for that. Here we have another edition of the K Open Challenge. This time I'm not doing a promo to kind of take up a spot for a segment. We're just getting right into the match. It's Kevin Owens versus Ashante the Adonis. Kevin Owens is going to get the victory here, but this was actually a pretty good match. It got cool spots, and yeah, just another win for Kevin Owens in the K Open Challenge. Next up, we have a little segment here. So Wolfgang, I think it was like a couple weeks ago, got into the face of Candice LeRae, basically told her to not get in the way when Wolfgang and the rest of Gallus go after DIY. And now here, Candice LeRae is kind of giving him a taste of his own medicine, making fun of him for losing to Damian Priest on SmackDown. Wolfgang doesn't appreciate it, and then Johnny Gargano from behind hits Wolfgang with a chair and runs him off. Gargano is already occupied. He has a Heritage Cup match against Chad Gable at Deadline, and he also still has to go after Gallus because that whole thing with Gallus and DIY is far from over. So there's a lot on Gargano's plate, and I'm hopeful that I will be able to reunite the way. Next up, we have another match. Fallon Henley, I've been using her a lot on main event, building her up. Izzy Dame, I haven't used her, and I just don't really know who she is. I roughly knew, but anyways, Fallon Henley gets the win here, whatever kind of match. But important thing is that Fallon Henley continues to develop and continues to win. Here we have an interesting challenge coming from Trish Stratus. She has been in charge of the investigation to find out who attacked Lola Vice all that time ago. She says that there's one person in particular who has not made this any easier for her, and it is Chelsea Green, and Trish Stratus is calling out Chelsea Green for a match at Deadline. So we have potentially another big match for Deadline, but we'll have to wait until SmackDown for Chelsea Green's answer. But there's something else to look forward to as we head to Deadline. And then the main event here. A rare big title match on main event. LA Knight is defending the US title against Julius Creed. It was a week ago or a week or so ago, whenever that was. LA Knight, Wesley, Kofi Kingston against All of American Made. They lost. So now LA Knight is defending this against Julius Creed. He's going to get the win, but good match. Julius Creed even got 1% higher in the morale, so that's good. But yeah, that is a pretty decent way to end this edition of main event and to end the whole week. So we have a lot going on. As you can see, we have one show to Deadline. We have built up a lot of stuff to happen on this next week of Raw, SmackDown, lots of matches, segments, confrontations, all that kind of stuff. So make sure to tune in for that next episode. And yeah, thank you for watching this episode. Let me know down below what you'd like to maybe see in this, and also let me know down below what else you'd like to see me talk about on this channel. Like the video, subscribe for more videos, and yeah, thank you for watching.